Without a law, without enforcement, to assess how relevant authorities are complying to this law is as good as not making the law at all. That's why the Pension Reform Act of year 2004 that was amended in year 2014 has a strong mechanism for enforcement to check out compliance. Hello and welcome to Pension Matters, where we talk pension. My name is Princess Rabi Ibrahim and I'm so glad to have you join us in today's episode of the program. Today we'll be discussing enforcement and compliance, that is on the contributory pension scheme. For details of this and more, stay with us as the program will continue shortly.
Do you know there is a new pension scheme in Nigeria? It is mandatory, it is contributory, it is fully funded, based on individual retirement savings account. Under the supervision of the National Pensions Commission, the new pension scheme guarantees lifelong financial independence for every citizen of Nigeria in public or private employment. PENCOM says it's a new dawn. Call the National Pensions Commission now or log on to www.pencom.gov.ng for further details. PENCOM, your contribution counts.
Welcome back. The program is Pension Matters and it's time now for us to join Adanze to give us Pension Trail. Adanze, over to you.
Hello and welcome to Pension Trail. This is where we give you the latest updates and happenings in the pension industry. My name is Adanze Ukorocha. On our story today, DG PENCOM takes pension to schools. As one of its corporate social responsibility, the National Pension Commission recently organized a lecture to the pupils of the Regent Primary School on pension service for children in Abuja. The Director General of the National Pension Commission, Mrs. Chinelo Amazo, while speaking to the children, advised them on the need to develop a saving habit starting now at their young age, as it will help them to create a stable financial life that can lead to a fulfilled retirement. She gave details of pension and its benefits, as well as the processes of opening retirement service accounts, after which she answered questions from the trailed children. Furthermore, PENCOM establishes special units. The National Pension Commission has established a special unit to coordinate the micro-pension scheme in the country. The Director General of PENCOM, Mrs. Chinelo Amazo, disclosed this in Lagos recently, that in implementing the micro-pension initiative, the informal sector has been categorized into low-income earners, the high-income earners, and small and medium-scale enterprises. She added that each of these categories will be tagged with corresponding pension products and the sensitization that will meet their needs. Mrs. Chinelo maintained that PENCOM will ensure that robust technological platform will be in place to drive the initiative in the pension industry. Lastly, on Pension Trail today, Lagos State pays pensioners. The Lagos State government has paid the total of 934 million naira to pensioners in the last 1 year. The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Idat Adebule, disclosed this in Lagos, that the prompt payment of pensions and gratuity to retirees is in appreciation of invaluable service to the state, and also to encourage those in service to be more productive. She, however, said that a large number of the state pensioners were recently hosted where they underwent free medical screening and health talk to reassure them that the government will not forget the contribution they had made to the development of the state. That's our package on Pension Trail today. Let's get back to Princess for more on pension matters.
Thank you very much, Adanze, for giving us that update of what is trending in the pension industry this week. Viewers, the program is Pension Matters and it's time for our up-close segment. In our up-close segment today, we're bringing back Mr. Mohammed Dati Yola, who is the head of Compliance and Enforcement Department at the National Pension Commission. He was with us last week. So you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you again.
It's good to have you too.
Before we go into the interview segment proper,
yes.
I want to find out your feelings and what you feel about the award that was given to the DG by the TUC. Recently, the TUC gave the National Pension Commission Director General, Mrs. Chinelo Amazo, an award for excellence visionary and emphatic leadership. And that award, I think, is for the pension industry alone and for the whole National Pension Commission. So what do you feel about the award?
First and foremost, we feel happy that our Chief Executive Officer was recognized and honored by the Trade Union Congress.
Before you tell me what you feel, let's take a look at the award.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to receive Excellent Visionary and Emphatic Leaders Award, I present to you Mrs. Chinelo Anowu Amasu. Can you put your hands together for DG Peko?
Now tell me what you feel about the award.
So as I was saying, I mean, we feel happy that our CEO was recognized. It's an honor not only for her, it is an honor for all of us at the National Pension Commission, and of course the pension industry, which includes the pension fund administrators, the pension fund custodians, and the closed pension fund administrators, and for all the RSA holders who are part and parcel of the pension industry.
Interesting. In fact, we use this opportunity to congratulate the Director General of the National Pension Commission, Mrs. Chinelo Anowu Amasu, on that fantastic award of excellence. Now, back to the topic of the day.
Yes.
Today, we'll be discussing enforcement and compliance.
Yes.
Now, in my last interview with you last week, you
yes.
did mention the recovery agents.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us who are these recovery agents?
Well, recovery agents are accounting firms and legal firms appointed by the National Pension Commission to assist it in ensuring that those employers that deducted pension contributions and did not remit are compelled to do so.
Good.
So initially there were 173, but as remember, the recovery agents were first appointed in 2012.
Okay.
So along the way, when their performances were reviewed, the 173 were reduced to about 50 recovery agents.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Why the reduction?
Well, the reduction was based on performance. Those that were able to recover and justify the confidence reposed in them by the National Pension Commission were so recognized. So it's purely an objective assessment of the performance of the recovery agents in the first 2 or 3 years.
So a recovery agent must be an accounting firm or a legal firm?
Yes.
Good. So you can appoint them anytime, and then if they're not performing very well, you can disengage them.
No, of course, because first and foremost, it's not even in the interest of the recovery agents to continue if you are unable to recover anything.
Oh, good.
Because their fees are paid on the basis of no recovery, no pay basis.
I understand.
So it is only when you recover that you will be able to get something out of the process.
So the duties of the recovery agents, can you now tell us some of their duties, and as it is stipulated by the National Pension Commission? I'm sure you gave them a guideline.
Yes, we did.
Which they must follow. So what are the duties? What are these guidelines?
The duties of the recovery agents are to review the records of employers,
Okay.
and ensure that for each of their employee they have open retirement savings. I mean the employee has open retirement savings account,
Okay.
and they are remitting the correct rate of remittance. That is 7.5% for the employee in the old DC, and 7.5% before the amendment in 2014.
So what's the new rate?
So the new rate is 8% for the employee and 10% for the employer.
Okay.
So they must review the records and ensure that you have actually remitted this one, the correct rate of contribution. That is 10% for the employer and 8% for the employee. When they found out that you are in deficit, so they will now calculate the amount you are in deficit and then inform the commission that this is their discovery. Then when we don't object to what they have found out, then they serve the employer a demand notice.
That's where the enforcement comes in.
Yes.
So how successful have these recovery agents been since you appointed them?
The recovery agents process has been a tremendous success to the commission because just like I mentioned last week, they were able to recover 9 billion, and this has risen to about 10 billion now. So this 10 billion is money that will not have gone to the retirement savings account of RSA holders if we had not appointed the recovery agents. Probably the employers will still be holding on to this money.
That is true.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Mr. Gatti, we'll take a short break now, then we'll come back to take us more on the activities of your department.
Thank you.
Viewers, the program is Pension Matters, and I've been discussing with Mr. Datti Yola, who is the head of compliance and enforcement at the National Pension Commission. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, he will take us more into the activities of enforcement and compliance at the National Pension Commission. Don't go away. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, the program is Pension Matters, and today I'm discussing with Mr. Mohammed Datti Yola, who happens to be the head of compliance and enforcement at the National Pension Commission. Mr. Datti, before the break,
yes,
I was going to say this. The obtaining of the compliance certificate is the beginning of wisdom to any businessman in Nigeria. And I think that is one of the enforcement mechanism that National Pension Commission have put in place. Can you explain to us what is this compliance certificate?
Well, compliance certificate is a certificate issued by the National Pension Commission, which shows that you have fully complied with the Pension Reform Act 2014. And in that certificate, it will show the amount of pension contributions you have remitted for the employees in your company. And then it will also show the number of employees you have registered for group life.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
Group life insurance.
Group life insurance.
Yes.
As stipulated by the Pension Reform Act
2014.
2014.
Yes.
Now, I feel as a person that this is not enough enforcement mechanism, because this compliance certificate is only when you want to do contract for a government agency or ministry or department that they will ask you to bring this. What other enforcement mechanism do you have in place apart from this compliance certificate?
Well, apart from the compliance certificates, that is why, as I earlier mentioned in the earlier segment of the program, that we appointed recovery agents. Then, in addition, we have a mechanism within the commission where the pension fund administrators render monthly returns to us. And in that returns, it will show us employers that are not remitting.
Good.
So we first engage you and write to you to find out the reason why you are not remitting. And when you prove difficult, then we can now assign you to a recovery agent to go and look comprehensively into your records and ensure that you comply fully with the Pension Reform Act 2014. And if you also prove difficult with the recovery agent process, then we will now issue a warning letter that if you don't comply, we will be forced to take legal action against your company.
Oh, great.
And if you still prove difficult, then of course we'll take you to court.
What of in a case where we have an establishment, a company, with up to maybe 100 members of staff,
Yes.
and yet they don't do contract with the government?
Yes.
So how will you be able to fish them out and then to force them to comply?
So like I have mentioned earlier, is that on monthly basis we track all employers in Nigeria that fail to remit pension contribution to their employees' retirement savings account through the returns rendition system rendered to us by the pension fund administrators. And through that, once we identify you, then we write to you. Then if you prove recalcitrant, we send recovery agents to you. And then if you still prove recalcitrant, then we serve the money.
Mr. Deti, the return rendition process may not be able to give you the accurate defaulters in this area. Supposing the company in question have not even, none of their members have registered to have a retirement savings account. They're just dormant. They're somewhere there silently operating and doing business. And the law says if you have more than 5 staff, you must enroll them for pension. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you know, one interesting thing about the contributory pension scheme is that it gives the employee or the RSA holder it trusts your own destiny in your own hand.
That's what I'm talking about.
So it is now the responsibility of the employees, because this is your right, pension is your right. If your employer is not remitting, then you should write and complain to the National Pension Commission that, look, I am working for so company and my employer is not compliant with the PRA 2014 and is not deducting pension contribution, or is deducting pension contribution and is not remitting. Then you can leave the rest to us. Then we'll write the employer, and then you will now
hope the PENCOM will keep it exclusively a secret in the closet, so that the employee will not be
certainly,
sacked.
so that he's not sacked. Certainly.
That's, by the way, that's on the lighter road.
We have also had the situation where employees only complain after they have lost their employment. Then they now write to the National Pension Commission, and you know, then since they have lost the employment, I mean, so they are not afraid of even confronting their employer that he has not remitted.
So by helping the National Pension Commission to fish out one particular establishment by writing you, so how do you help the employee to get back his job?
No. That is beyond our mandate. What we do for the employee is we make sure for the period you have worked for that employer, your pension contribution is remitted into your retirement savings account.
That's very interesting. Now, talking about this compliance certificate, which is very important to any establishment or any company that want to do business with government in Nigeria, what is the process of obtaining this compliance certificate?
Well, the process of obtaining compliance certificates is open and transparent.
Okay.
You can either apply online, you can forward this through the email system we have, or you can submit through any of our zonal offices. We have 6 zonal offices in the country, in each of the geopolitical zones. Yes.
Mr. Jetamus, thank you so very much for coming on the program again. It's always a pleasure having you and to educate and enlighten our viewers on the enforcement and the compliance activities of the National Pension Commission, because having a law without compliance and enforcement is not like having nothing at all. And the National Pension Commission outlines you to have zero tolerance towards any operator that is not playing by the rule.
No, certainly. And you see, one interesting thing about the recovery of pension contribution is that the RSA holder gets his money intact. The fees for the recovery agent is paid by National Pension Commission,
Great.
the pension fund administrators, and the pension fund custodians.
Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Right.
For that. You are welcome.
Viewers, the program is Pension Matters, and it's now time for us to go for pension education with Mr. Patrick. Mr. Patrick, take it away.
Thank you very much, Princess. Hello, viewers. Welcome to this week's pension education segment. My name is Igbo Patrick. This week, we shall be looking at another mode of withdrawing from the contributory pension scheme. This time around, it affects the next of kin, particularly those who have lost their loved ones that are holders of a pension account. The next of kin is actually entitled to the balance remaining in the retirement savings account once the account holder is no longer active or in existence. The process of accessing the fund is what I'm going to explain to you today. For those of us who have lost our loved ones who were RSA holders, we can still have access to the retirement savings account to draw in totality the amount that is left in the account. And once this is done, the account ceases to exist as it is closed, and the balance is transferred to the estate account of the next of kin. Now, for you to be able to do this, the would-be beneficiary is expected to approach the pension fund administrator of the affected or the deceased account holder, and there are a list of requirements that are expected to be provided by the next of kin, which include, but not the least, a letter of administration from a court notifying the PFE that he or she is the beneficiary. You're also supposed to provide an evidence to show that the account holder is no longer in existence, either a death certificate, or you show an obituary, something to show that the person affected or the person who owes the account is no longer alive. You're also to provide other means of identification for yourself, a passport photograph for the next of kin, and also that of the deceased beneficiary. You're also meant to open an account referred to as an estate account in the name of the deceased relative or account holder. This account is where the amount that is left in the retirement savings account will be paid into once the processing has been completed. Once you have met the requirements as provided by the pension fund administrator, the pension fund administrator in turn seeks an approval from the pension commission, and once this approval is given, the money is released in totality into the new estate account of the next of kin for he or she to be able to have access to. Thank you very much, viewers. It's been wonderful being with you this week. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick, for that pension education. And viewers, on that note, we've come to the end of our program for today. That's our package of pension matters for this week. We do hope we tune in next week, same station, same time, for another exciting episode of the program. Until then, God bless you.